What's going on, offers? Flicking off, baby. Episode 15. We got a good one for you. I'm Mark. That's my cousin Jacob. If you don't know the show, we're just two cousins breaking down one film at a time, and we're linking every movie to the next, however the fuck we want. It could be anything from the production designer to the director to an actor to
Well, you
little
got one heck of
extra.
a link this time, that's for
I
sure.
do. But that's the premise of the show for those that are just tuning in. Last episode, we did the great Mandy, Panos Cosmatos' second movie that he ever made, and it was a gem. I'm really glad Jacob picked that movie. I had fun with it. It seems like people online are having fun with it. This movie's actually doing a lot better. Well, this episode is doing a lot better than our normal growth and audience, like, you know, energy. Than like
Yeah,
normally we'll post a video or a episode and it'll be like 30 views. This one's already surpassed 50 and it's only day 2, so me and Jacob
yeah.
are a little excited about that. um our link for this episode from Mandy is the movie 1917. Director Sam Mendes. He's a British director. I got a lot of stuff written down about him. I mean, pretty much um he did
I've got a
the
list.
he
He
did
did
American
American
he did
Beauty.
American Beauty and won an
Yep,
Oscar. So that's what pretty much put him on the map right there. He did Road to Perdition,
yep,
Jarhead. I think he did
yeah.
Revolutionary Road as well, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct, yeah.
And he did the James Bond's movies, but I don't know which two he did.
He
Was it
did Skyfall and Spectre,
Inspector? That's right. Inspector was
and
good. Well, Skyfall was better, I
he's
would say.
had one movie since this, Empire of Light.
Okay. I didn't know
Yeah,
that. All right. Yeah.
yeah,
So, I mean, British director. He's good at both. I think he's good at personal dramas and big scale stuff. That's literally what his filmography tells me. I mean,
yeah.
and I think that's why 1917 works. I mean, it's a personal story with a big production. The way I linked this film from Mandy is an actress by the name of Haley Saywell, which, funny story, I thought that I was linking these two movies from a child actor who was in the Cheddar Goblin commercial and who was also like played one of the like children of like the destroyed towns in France. But
Yeah,
you can't rely on AI for everything right now. Sometimes AI is going to mess up, and I found out that was incorrect. So I had to use my own brain and search and do my own little research, and I found out that Haley Saywell, she was Sis on the Black Skulls in the movie Mandy, and she was the stunt department coordinator for the movie on set 1917. So that's our link. And it just goes to show, while there's $100 on the line, you're not going to guess. If you were going to guess, it would have been Donnie
sometimes it's gonna be
Darko.
tough. That's a tough one. I don't
That
think
is a tough.
anybody would have just jumped from that. I bet if people were really guessing, they probably were going to go with Nick Cage, right? They probably thought
Right.
you were going to
We
go Nick
were.
Cage.
We were going to go with that. I think,
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to go Nick Cage. And I remember, what was the movie that I wanted? Like, it was between two. It was between 1917 and then that one he did uh in the woods with the kid from Ready
Oh,
Go
Joe.
or Ready
Joe.
Player One. Joe. That's right, the movie Joe.
Yeah.
So we almost did Joe. If you
Yeah.
haven't seen Joe, go check out Joe. Who knows? We might get back around to it. I'm sure Nicolas Cage is going to be on this podcast more than just fucking Mandy.
Yeah.
But yeah, 1917. Let's get into it, baby. Let's get into it.
You got another big one here, 8.2 on IMDb. I mean, that's
well deserved. Well
yes.
deserved, right? I mean, holy shit. It released in 2019. It's a World War I movie. Um, it's the setting is April 6th, 1917. Um, Mendez picked a specific date to make it feel like a real mission, and they even mentioned the date in the movie, which I thought was really cool. The studio people behind it was DreamWorks, Universal, Amblin. So it wasn't some tiny little indie movie, guys. This shit was
No. I
huge.
mean, this was a huge production.
Huge, and a huge success. The budget was 90 to
95.
100 million.
Yeah. And it
Yeah.
made 446 million worldwide. I mean,
And
I
it
was
won
thinking about it, even if their marketing budget was the same as the production budget, so the whole thing is 200 million. They
dude,
still
and it
cleared 220 something million dollars. I mean, that's
dude,
pretty
yeah.
good, and
So
that's
you
just
you
on the box office. That's not even the VOD or streaming or,
who knows
physical
how much they
sales.
made with that. I mean, dude, I bought it on Amazon digitally, so
Yeah.
I mean, how much, it also won 3 Oscars,
Yeah.
you know, and it was based on Mendez's grandfather, who was a
Yes.
messenger in World War One. So this was actually the story itself. I don't know if it was the real story or not, but
It
they
was just
did have
inspired by his experiences in World War One, and there's some cool stuff about that. I mean,
oh, yeah. I mean,
his
those messengers were
grandfather,
real.
his grandfather was like, they said the early morning mist would get like 6 feet high sometimes, and he was like 5'4", so they get this guy creeping through the mist, and
Yeah.
he was scarred by some of his experiences. He
Oh, I'm
basically, like,
sure.
washed his hands incessantly for the rest of his life, and, um, Mendez says he didn't even start talking about his experiences with anybody, including the family, till he was over 70, and then he wrote a
Oh,
book
wow.
about it. So, that's pretty insane stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I the synopsis pretty much, guys, for those that are listening, I mean, this was based in World War One, and the whole movie takes place in France, and this was during is on the Western Front. So the history behind it is real, but I think the story is just fabricated for film. But what's happening then is the Germans were pulling back to a stronger defensive line, and it was called the Hindenburg Line. And I forget what the Germans called it. They called it something in German, but I'm not even going to try that. We can barely say actors and actresses' names on this show, so not even going to try. But that retreat in early 1917, I looked it up. It's real. That was a real retreat.
Yeah.
They destroyed stuff as they went, so the British would have a harder time following. And why that matters when an enemy retreats. Sometimes the other side thinks it's because they're weak, but sometimes the enemy retreats to get you to come to one spot where you have like a whole bunch of bigger guns and weapons and just to
Yeah.
pretty much annihilate you.
It's a tactical move. Yeah,
Right.
they've got a
Right.
plan.
So that's basically the situation of the movie. British troops are about to attack what they think is a retreating German front, and the intel's like, nah, they're dug in and you're about to get shredded. So they send 2 messengers to travel, I think it was 1,600 kilometers, if I'm not mistaken, but I should have wrote that down, but I didn't.
Yeah,
They
that
travel a
doesn't
good
sound right.
distance.
That
They
doesn't
travel
sound
a
right.
they
Yeah,
travel a good distance. I don't know how
yeah,
far. It's pretty far,
yeah. I don't
and
think it was that far, but yeah, it
yeah,
was far.
yeah, the movie
I
would have
should have
been
written that
5
down.
hours, right? Like, fucking
Yeah, but it was a good distance. I mean, yeah, I don't
so
wanna
look
throw off what you're saying, like,
no,
yeah,
yeah,
so
the
basically they're gonna
synopsis,
deliver a message.
the stuff that was fictional, I wrote this down specifically. The exact unit he's running to, the Devons, that was fictional. The specific mission of go tell him not to attack, that was invented. But the stuff that was real was the German strategic withdrawal in 1917, the wrecked French towns, the booby traps, no man's land in the
Yeah,
beginning where they're climbing over the trenches. That was real. Um, the whole communication is slow, send a runner thing. That was absolutely how it worked back
yeah.
then. they would send 1 to 2 people to deliver messages because they didn't have radios or the lines would be down, however the fuck. I mean, use your imagination, guys. But so that's pretty much the synopsis of this film. And what I loved about the film is the flow of it. I mean, from the beginning of the film, it's poetry. It's they're leaning on a tree. A sergeant walks up to him and just taps him on the shoulder and is like, "Hey, Colonel wants to speak to you. Grab a guy and go." And that's how the movie starts. And beautifully enough, at the end, he's leaning on a tree.
Yes. Yes, it bookends with that. It's really good. And he's
It
all disheveled, like, he was pretty pristine looking when you first see him, and now
Yeah, he fucked
he's
up.
pretty
Yeah.
rough.
It was a great film, man. Really good stuff. I mean, it won 3 Academy Awards. It marked up at the British Movie Awards. I don't know what those are called. I think they're called BAFTAs,
The
BAFT.
BAFTAs, yeah,
The BAFTAs,
yeah.
yeah. It cleaned up there. It won for Best Film, Director, Cinematography, and a few others. Um, for the Academy Awards, it won Best Cinematography, which we're going to have to take at least 5 minutes to talk about old Roger Deakins, okay?
Yeah.
Roger Deakins is the Steph Curry of
Dude, I looked at
cinematography,
his
dude.
filmography, it's insane, dude.
It
It's like
is.
almost every Christopher Nolan movie.
Dude,
It's really
Sicario too. All
insane.
my favorite
All
films,
yes,
the
all
Dennis
your
Villeneuve or
boy
however.
Denavy.
Again,
I must start calling
what
him
Mark and
Denavy.
Jacob meant to
That's
say
what
Yeah,
his name
is
Denavy.
is.
That's what
Denay
from now
and the
on when we
move.
mention
Honestly, I
Dillis,
can't give them too
Dennis,
much crap for
whatever,
it.
It's
it's
It
Denavy. We're
Denavy.
is
just
one of
gonna
those
say
names
that.
that
But yeah, he
deserves
did
an explanation.
Sicario, Blade Runner, Fargo, No Country for Old Men.
I
I
know,
mean,
dude. It's insane. It's
he's
an insane
insane.
list.
And he's British as well, British cinematographer. He's been doing this for decades, guys. I mean, we just gave you all those movies. He's got a bunch more. I just wrote down the ones to write down, right? I mean, what makes him special is he's not really that flashy for no reason. I mean, he's he's not flashy for no reason. He gets flashy when he needs to, and everything from what I've seen is for the sake of the story. And that's what I
Yes.
think makes him so fucking phenomenal. He loves natural looking light, big soft sources, very controlling on the color, I've noticed. I mean, No Country for Old Men, same fucking tone and lighting the entire time until they get to night. I think the night scenes were just a tad bit different. He's super good in figuring out how to even shoot this, and we're going to get into this as well. This whole, like, the camera following the actor the entire story was brilliant. We're going to talk about that. He did Skyfall in Shanghai, like, I mean, if you've seen that, just go watch that movie. The guy is insane. Like, if you're into movies and you're watching his movies, you're literally the whole time like, how the fuck did they pull this off, But
But
for those
what's
that don't
beautiful
know,
about this one is it's weird. I don't want this to be mistaken, but this movie is so simple in a way. It's such a simple movie. It's just we're going to follow these guys on this journey. That's it. Just to deliver this message. That's all you're going to see. And a lot of stuff happens, but it's a pretty straightforward journey, and it's like you said, it just grips you right away, and you're just on the ride with them. You're right there with these, for a good portion of the movie's two guys, the guy,
yeah.
you know,
I mean, let's get into that then. I mean, shit. The whole premise of the one shot idea.
yeah,
If you watch this movie, guy, if you haven't seen this movie, go fucking see it, bro. Like,
yeah. There's gonna be
go
lots
see
of
it,
spoilers. Just go
come
see it.
back, subscribe to the show, watch us break it down. I mean, um, the whole idea of, the one shot, it came later during production. He wanted the audience to feel like they were walking with the soldier. No break, no safety, and that's how, like, kind of Roger Deakins figured out, like, okay, well, we'll cut it in a way that seems like the camera never stopped.
Yeah.
And they do it amazingly. It's almost like the camera is in front of the actors the entire fucking time and it never leaves. But we didn't even get into the fucking cast, bro. We got to talk about the cast first. So the director, Sam Mendes, we did that. He co-wrote it as well with Christy Wilson Cairns, and Roger Deakins was a cinematographer. Editor was Lee Smith. The composer was Thomas Newman, who fucking murdered this. That fucking scene at the end where he's running down the trenches and getting blown up, like that score was fucking crazy, dude. Production was Dennis Gassner, the production design. The main cast, George McKay, who plays Lance Corporal Will Schofield. Dude, a lot of folks might not know who George McKay is. He was in this movie called Mr. Fantastic, I believe.
Captain Fantastic
Captain
with
Fantastic.
Viggo Mortensen. That's the only one I wrote down because that
I
one
think
was
it's
to me it was, you know, it was
phenomenal.
good. Yeah.
Really good movie. But yeah, I think this one and that are like the two biggest things he's done.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's part of the reason he got casted. I read that, Sam Mendes didn't want a big star for this role because it would take away from the emotion of the character and, transcendently the emotion of the audience watching it. I think it was a smart move because we would be more focused on look at Brad Pitt or look at,
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix instead of, you know, Dean Charles Chapman plays his best friend, Lance Corporal Tom Blake.
Yep.
Colin Firth, he plays General Aaron Moore. That's the guy who sends him,
Yep.
he plays a lot
Exactly.
of these roles, I think. I mean, how many
Yes.
times has Colin Firth played a high-ranking officer in a movie? Let's talk about it. I mean, come on, it's a
I don't
lot.
know, but I don't know, but it's probably been a lot.
Short nod to Benedict Cumberbatch, which, I mean,
Yeah.
who doesn't know who this guy is? I mean,
Yeah.
Doctor Strange. He plays Colonel Mackenzie, which is the guy that, Schofield has to reach. Andrew Scott, he plays Lieutenant Leslie, the tired trench officer. Mark Strong, Richard
Mark
Madden.
Strong is like when I was looking through the cast, I was like, this is a guy that I've never really known his name, but he is super familiar to me. And I was looking at his filmography just out of curiosity, and I have seen several of the movies that he's been in. But yeah.
I'm trying to remember him in
In
other
this movie,
things.
he's Captain Smith is the guy who comes to them.
We're all waiting on Mark to take off his hoodie right now. Sorry, folks.
My bad, it's hot.
No, you're good. You're good. In this movie, Captain Smith, Mark Strong, is the guy who comes to them after
Time.
the guy gets stabbed.
Oh,
His friend gets stabbed. He's the general or the captain that comes with the
I think he's going to
troops
be in the new
after
Street
that.
Fighter film. He's going to play Vega. Now I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just wanted
And
to get in the cast before we start talking about the one-shot stuff.
I mean, there's a few more, but you go ahead. Do you have any
Yeah, I
more
mean,
actors you wanted to point out?
nah, I got it. That I wrote down everyone that deserves a nod, I think. I mean, if we missed anybody, I mean, look, this is an American show. I'm not going to sit here and nod any Nazi actors, but no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, the one-shot premise is what made this movie beautiful. I think it's also why it won a ton of awards. I mean, it won Best Cinematography at the Academy Awards the year it came out. Roger Deakins really gotten his bag for this one, man. I mean, the way like people think when they watch it that it's just one shot and one take. It's really not. It's kind of like the camera would go like past a trench or past a body or come out,
Yeah,
and
they
that's
would
when
do
they would cut
hidden
it.
cuts. Yeah,
Right.
hidden cuts. And I mean, a lot of directors use those, but the way they use them is like really masterful. And like, I remember one time I watched this movie just sort of like looking for those a little bit, and you can see a couple of them, but only because
Sometimes
you
you
know
can't.
that well, it's only because you know that's what they did. It's
Right.
not that you can visually tell. you can't actually see the cut, but you're like, you know it's there, right? And like
Dude,
they said that there were dozens of these invisible edits, and the shortest shot was about 39 seconds long, and the longest was about 8.5 minutes long. So
dude, and
that's a long take. 8.5 minutes
talk
that's
about the
pretty long.
timing and rehearsals, man. I mean, they had to have rehearsed this for months. I
They
mean,
did
because
6 months. I've
dude,
got that in my notes right below it. They rehearsed for 6 months to like
because
get
every
these
shot
shots
has to
right.
be the exact length of the set. If you know, like they had to spend time with each actor and get their pacing down, you know, how many steps before you get to this and what you got to do. Like that, it's not just the cinematographer doing everything behind the scenes. The actors are heavily involved in this as well. Set design heavily
Yeah.
involved in this as well.
And
They
you know,
literally measured
you talk
scenes. They literally measured scenes by how long it took George McKay to walk from point A to point B, dude. Like
well,
that's
that's
pretty
smart.
yeah,
Because
it's
they
pretty in
want
depth.
him to be natural, right? So they want to
Right.
use his natural pacing. They don't want to like rush him or make, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So they've
yeah.
got to, otherwise it wouldn't look natural. So that's smart. That's a
Like
smart way to
if
do
he
it.
walked faster, then they had to dig the trench longer, which it's I'm just like, bro, that's like
And they dug
attention to
almost a
detail.
mile of these trenches, dude.
I
It was
read that.
insane.
That is
And,
insane.
you know, the cinematographer Deakins, he used mostly the same lens when they're following him the whole time, a 40
Oh
millimeter
wow.
lens, because he wanted to, you know, he didn't want to have anything that was like any shots that were changing focal length when you were with the characters, because he
Right.
thought that's going to throw people's eyes off. We want them following them the whole time and not really like, even if it's just subconsciously, it sort of throws them out of it a little bit. He didn't want any of that. So he wanted it to be the same thing when you're with the characters, which I thought that was really cool.
Dude, and we got to talk about that flare scene. And I wanted to talk about it a little bit because when I first saw the movie, I swore that was CGI. Like there was just no way, right? Like in my mind I was like no fucking way. But it wasn't. Those were actually real flares set off with like time and space in between, and the light from the flares was actually the only light for the scenes, man. That shit
But
was
they did
crazy
have
when
like a flare lighting rig too. They
yeah, no,
did
that's
build this thing that would like track this one, because I read about that too.
yeah. It's
They said
time
they built like
choreography.
one of the largest lighting rigs ever assembled. It was near that same time in the movie, like that, like it's like a giant church is on fire, that
Oh,
giant
yeah, yeah,
building that's
yeah.
on fire. What they did was they did that with this giant lighting rig that
Okay.
created these light effects, and then they went in and post and did the fire, you know. And
Yeah.
dude, it looks real. It looks
Yeah, no, it
insane.
does. It looks real. I mean, even the flare scene when you see him running through these buildings and like, you know, they had the poster of the circus in France that he's like leaning on the wall, like subtle little nuggets like that and the attention to detail. And I just was blown away. I really thought that the lighting wasn't real, but it actually was, man. It was timed choreography and they had they had you know, it was set up for a specific beat. As soon as Adam McKay or would get to one place, a flare would go off, the camera would be directly where it would need to be.
Yeah.
That just was a crazy scene. I mean, this whole movie has some really crazy fucking scenes, but
Yeah. Well, the idea, I mean, while we're on it, the idea of this like one take and not breaking off of it, where he decides near the end, the only way to get around to get the message to the general is to get out of the trench right as they're about to go like
oh
charging
yeah.
on the battlefield. And like two guys just like run right into him, or he runs into them as they're crossing paths. That was not planned at all. Like
No, yeah.
The
I was an
director had
extra.
told them before, no matter what happens, until I yell cut, you just keep acting. Like everybody keeps acting. It doesn't matter what happens until I say cut. So they just kept
And it
running and they
works.
kept it in, and it looks perfect, dude.
It
Because it's
does,
like
man.
it's really guys just actually colliding.
And the music they used for that scene was powerful, man. It was like, it's like, and that's another reason I love this movie so much, is just like, we'll get into that a little bit later, but you know, the camera handoffs too. That's something noticeable for me when I was researching this film. Like, some shots start handheld, then the camera gets passed to someone like on a crane, or like another
Yeah,
rig, then to a truck, all
yeah,
while the scene keeps going. No cut. Like,
yeah,
that's difficult, man. Like, I
yeah.
mean, that's
That's
pretty,
cool.
that's insane coordination is what
Oh
that is,
yeah,
man.
no,
That
that's
shit's
really cool.
crazy.
That's really cool.
In
It's
another Oh, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
No, well, I
No,
was
no,
just gonna
I was gonna skip to something else. So you sound like you were gonna say something along the same
I
line.
just wanted to shout out to George McKay, man.
Okay.
This this guy was brilliant. I really loved him in this. His performance was through the fucking roof, and he put his body on the line. He got hurt a ton during the filming of this, I read. I
Oh
mean,
wow.
from scrapes and bruises,
I
because he's
bet.
running through real trenches, man. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and like you said, some of these cuts were 8 minutes, man. Like, like 8 minutes of filming and then cut. That's insane, when
Yeah.
you think about making movies and whatnot. Tripping,
Well,
falling, he got bruised and cut up making the film, and it works because you don't really need makeup if you're really getting cut and bruised, right? Like, fucking, I thought that was cool. And I even wrote down, you could see him getting knocked over by a real extra in that big run at the end,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
wasn't planned. Like, I thought that was brilliant, man. It
Yeah, I
almost
mean, it's
made
a full on like football hit. I mean, it's two guys just colliding at each other going full force. So
It
it's
almost
pretty.
made me want to go back and look at the expression from the extra's face, like, oh, fucked up, like I'm gonna get in trouble or something. Um,
Well, that's
yeah,
actually like a perfect segue into like what I was going to talk about, which is like at the heart of this story, what we haven't really gotten to is that the other guy that's not played by George McKay, who's the other lead actor? Do you know it off the top of your head?
Dean Charles Chapman is
Yes,
his
Dean
best
Charles
friend,
Chapman is tapped to go on this mission, and he taps Schofield, right? Played by George McKay, who they call Sco.
which, well, hold on, which for guys, audience, people watching the show, that's real. Like, when you're just laying around in the military, even to this day, a sergeant gets tasked with something to delegate, he'll just walk up to a random person, tap you on the shoulder, be like, pick somebody, you're going here, you're doing this. And
Yeah.
that's literally how it is, man. So the
And so you
genuity
were
of it
like,
is,
it felt real. Yeah.
yeah, the genuity of it is 100%, man, for real.
So the basic story here, aside from just delivering this message to stop a uh, attack that is basically headed for doom because they don't know what they're up against, these opposing forces. This other guy, let me look up his character's name real quick just so I can get this right. Okay, yeah, Tom Blake. So Tom and Sco, right? Blake and Sco. So Blake, his brother, is there at this battle as well. So he has a personal reason to get there to save his brother from possibly being in this bloody battle, right? And at the heart of this story, I mean, do you mind if I just go into full spoiler mode here?
Nah, yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
There's a
flicking
great
off, baby.
scene
This is
that's
what we do. For everyone that's watching, this is what we do. We're not dumbing this down for y'all. We're spoiler heavy. And get over it. Subscribe, okay? If you want to have an opinion, subscribe to the show. All right? We're going to do
heck
whatever
yeah.
the fuck we want, dude.
Hell yeah. So one of my favorite scenes in this movie is the plane scene. Okay, there's a scene where they're at a farmhouse and they're in a barn, and Blake and Sco are watching a dogfight between fighter pilots in the sky, right? And we're talking about World War One early flight technology, right? And this plane crashes. Well, what happens is it gets shot and it's falling, and you, the audience, as you're watching, you see it go behind a hill. And so you're like, oh, you're going to hear a loud thing and see some
Or see
smoke,
an
right? But no, it
explosion.
comes up and crests the hill and just comes over and crashes right where they're at, like in a barn, catches on fire. And it's a crazy scene, right? It's an intense scene. Um, Long and the short of it, Blake gets stabbed, right? And ends up dying. And so now Sco is tasked with finishing this mission, and not just finishing the mission, but also telling this guy's brother that he died, and he takes his belongings off his body. And, you know, I don't know how much you want to get into it, but I'll just say that, like, these are some intense scenes, like emotional scenes between two fellow
Human beings,
soldiers
man.
and human beings in war,
Two
and
souls.
it's intense. Like,
Dude, the reason I picked this movie, it wasn't so much of a link for me. Like, I saw a billion possible links, but when I saw 1917, I remember this movie came out around the time that like a good friend of mine committed suicide. And I remember watching the film and just relating with the character a lot. Like, and the character's name is, Lance Corporal Will Schofield.
yeah,
Because the whole time we don't have any backstory on this character, and that's sort of much how life is, man. Like, nobody knows your story, nobody
yeah,
knows what you're going through. Neither of us know what anybody's story is, really, unless you're related to them and know them personally. And the big thing for me about this movie was this guy gets told to go on a mission where people's lives are at stake, and no matter he's in the middle of a fucking war, like, that's the only thing that matters. And he's doing it alone after that scene that you just talked about.
yeah,
And that's when I really started like resonating with that character, man. Cause like, dude, my life right now is court, you know, trying to be in my son's life as much as possible, paying my own bills, putting this podcast together, making enough money to live, hustling, grinding, and I'm doing it all by myself. Nobody's patting me on the back. Nobody knows why I'm doing it. I mean, and nobody's helping me. Nobody is, I resonated with that so much because that's literally what this guy's doing in this movie, man, is nobody's cheering him on. You don't really know his like motivation until the very last scene of the film, which is a tearjerker. I don't want to spoil that for folks. I'd rather y'all see that genuinely, but I really resonated with it, man. And I think a lot of people could. If you're somebody that's in the part of your story where it's the hardest part, you're grinding, you're trying to make your life into something beautiful, you know. And I get like we're not defined by our accolades, but that really helps. Like when you can create something or do something that changes people's lives, like shows people why we're doing it. This movie is for you, man, for real. I mean, this guy, he goes through some shit, man. Like fucking, he gets
yeah,
shot at, blown up, plane almost
yeah.
crashes into him.
He gets
And
buried in
while
rubble. When you say he gets blown up, he does. He's buried in rubble. Blake has to dig him out. It's
yeah,
insane.
he almost dies. I mean, and while I'm on this, I want to talk about one of my favorite scenes. It's when after he gets like shot almost and killed by the sniper and he wakes up because he gets knocked out and he's going through this town in France that was completely destroyed, like blown away from just rubble, like toppled buildings, and he's running away from a German soldier and he ends up meeting this French woman.
Mm,
And dude, that scene was so powerful for me because he gets this moment. It's the only time in the movie where he's seen. It's the only time in the movie where, like, the character's sitting there after losing his friend, doing all this crazy shit, and he holds his head back, and the woman's, because he's got this wound on the back of his head, and they don't speak each other's language, so they can't communicate. But they can, like, humans can communicate without language. He just lays his head back and he closes his eyes. And dude, it's beautiful, man, because he felt seen in that moment. And it's the only time somebody recognizes him in the film.
Yeah.
And this shit was powerful, man. And the whole milk from the barn, and she has this baby who's hungry,
Yes. And he
and
had gotten milk earlier. Yeah,
and
it was
that
just
speaks to true alignment. And I want everybody to know, like, if you're watching this show, bro, like, and you're going through something hard, that happens, man. Like, like this podcast alignment, like certain things had to happen to me for me to get up enough motivation and courage to, like, try and do something and change my shit, change my stars. Shout out Heath Ledger. But yeah, I mean, dude, it's a powerful film. It really is. And the story is so beautiful and it's gut wrenching, man. It's real. It's like, there's a happy ending, but with, like, a ton of sad sauce all over it, man. Like,
yeah.
it's 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 powerful, man. And it's why I chose the film, man, because I'm at that part of my life right now where it's like, you just got to keep going, man. You can't worry about who's helping you, who's not helping you. And I've found so much peace in not explaining myself to folks anymore, man, or, like, not seeking instead of seeking validation through relationships, like, I'm trying to, like, look at myself in the mirror and seek validation. So yeah, powerful stuff, man. And the whole movie is filled with shit like this, man. Even
Yeah.
when he gets to the end and he finds his brother, like, that when he tells him his brother dies, like, that acting, bro, like, which, let's shout
Yeah.
him out real quick. Richard Madden. Richard
Yes.
Madden, it's almost like you knew he was thinking about somebody that he lost in that scene, because he
Yeah.
froze and his lips quiver. He's holding back tears. He's trying to be this strong officer. And it was just immaculate, like,
Yeah.
perfection on screen acting, bro. Like, for
Yeah.
sure.
I think, everything you said, I agree with. I think there's, you mentioned the scene with the French girl. There's an interesting thing that happens at the end of that scene, and it happens in a couple places where it's like we're on, like, such a pace with this movie that every now and again they have to slow it down just a little bit so they can bring the pace back, right? And
Catch your
so
breath. Yeah.
that's one of those scenes, and it's like he realizes all of a sudden, like, "Oh shit, I gotta get back to my mission." Like, sure,
Right.
I could stay here and this is nice, I'm having fun,
Yeah.
but it's like, you just see it on his face, like, you see a realization, and he, like, throws his backpack on, he gets moving again. It's like, but I think the most powerful one of those scenes for me was actually right after Blake, his friend, died. Like, he gets in a military truck in the back of a transport truck with all these other soldiers. He's just been in this town with, like, where his friend died, or not town, but at this house where his friend died. And they're riding away, and, like, the look on his face when he is looking at the house, you can tell, like, what he's thinking. He's thinking, like, "That's where my friend died, and, like, I'll probably never see this place again," right? And the other soldiers in the truck are, like,
Joking
they're
and, like,
laughing and joking about other stuff, and they don't know that he's in this immensely sad moment. And, like, the way the audio and the sound is mixed is, like, perfect, like,
and that acting's
you
brilliant too. Like, his
you
face,
yeah, and it
like,
keeps doing it for several minutes, and, like, you can see him processing and all the stuff, and then the truck gets stuck in the mud, and when he has to get out to push it, it's like boom, it's like that's where it changes pace again. He has to forget about he has to get out of mourning and get right back into mission mode, and he does. It's like he's mourning for a few minutes while he rides in the back of this truck, and then boom, right back into mission mode. Like it's intense, and it's done so artfully and so beautifully. Like it's
Poetry. I mean,
yeah.
from front, like the pacing, the flow, the way the story's told is poetry, man. It's really, really good. It's why I got a 8.2, you know. It's why it won all these awards. I mean, the BAFTAs and the Academy Awards, those weren't just the only awards that it got, man. This movie got a lot of attention as far as like accolades are concerned.
You know, I did want to mention, you know, there's a couple of sort of links or nods to Cold Mountain in this movie. I thought was interesting. Like, I don't think
Really?
he's like, yeah, I don't think he's directly shouting out Cold Mountain or anything. It's just things that, well, the Wayfaring Stranger song, that's the song that
Oh,
Jack
yeah.
White sings in Cold Mountain, and that's what the soldier is singing when he walks up, and all the soldiers are sitting down in the forest, and he sits
Yeah,
down.
dude, I did
That's a
not know
beautiful
that.
scene.
Bro,
Yeah,
Flicking Off.
yeah,
Subscribe, baby.
and
That is a
yeah.
cool nod, baby.
And
That's a
there's
cool
another
nod.
one, which is early on, right when we see before they've even gotten the mission to go on, but they've been tapped to go see the colonel to get the mission. The two main characters are walking together, and the other guy says, well, it doesn't matter, this will be over next week anyway. And like that was something I read in the trivia too. It's like another one of those things, and it happens in almost every war. Like these guys think it's going to be over like right away, like this is about to be over, and it's just not.
Yeah, there's a whole number 2, you know?
And that was sort of a thing that happens during, you know, the Civil War in Cold Mountain. So I thought that was an
I mean,
interesting thing,
and
you
what
know, worth bringing up.
it is, and what you just said is just what we keep saying about these timepieces is like lines like that, like, "Oh, this is gonna be over in a little bit." It just speaks to the like where your mindset was back in those days. Like no one thought there was going to be a World War II. Certainly not, you know, German
Yeah.
invading other countries and stuff. Like, I mean, little things like that are what make timepieces so great for us. Like with the toothbrush and the Sisters Brothers, and you know, it's just little stuff like that that puts you in that headspace of someone in that time. I mean, and it's
Yeah.
hard to do. I really wanted to get in to just to say it again, dude. This wasn't some little set, man. Like some of these sets were fucking miles long, dude. Like, and that's not common for any movie really. I mean, I don't know any specs on Save It Private Ryan or nothing, but I'm sure like the sets weren't fucking a mile long, you know. And the weather I read really held them hostage because, you know, Roger Deakins really he's really like big into color and tone and keeping the same energy on screen, and they had to like sometimes wait for it to get cloudy again. They would wait hours for the clouds to come back so that they could film.
So that it would look the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it had to look like one day. You know, it
Yeah.
had to look like that one day. They needed cloudy skies every time. And if the sun came out, they had to wait. They had to sit around and fucking wait, which
Yeah.
I hope one day we can interview some of these actors and hear some stories about
That
those
would
waiting around on
be
sets,
awesome.
man. That would be crazy.
There's some gnarliness in this movie too. I mean, you know, it's
Man,
a war movie, so of course you got to have some gore and some blood in there. You know, it's pretty rough in a couple
uh,
spots.
the gnarliest thing for me was when they're passing through no man's land in the beginning,
I
and
know it.
he cuts his hand on barbed wire, like clean cut right here.
Yeah,
And for one, if y'all haven't cut your palm before that long, that shit is painful. I
it
mean,
really
it
hurt.
it's stinging, bro, like the entire time. And just when you start sweating and the sweat gets in there and the
Yeah.
sodium from the sweat, God, it just sucks. And then they're going through no man's land, which is like pretty much a battlefield that's over, right?
Yeah.
And they
There's
fall into
bodies
this.
everywhere.
There's bodies, dead horses, and they fall into this pit. And he trips, and when he goes to get up, he sticks his cut hand inside of a fucking soldier's like torso.
Yeah,
And
his
like,
torso's like chest collapses, hand goes
yeah, like he
into the
pushes off
body.
the body and it goes inside. And dude, it's just like there's a ton of that in this movie where you're like, oh God, like fuck that. Like that's no, like, oh God,
Yeah.
I'd stop right there, like I'd stop right there, fucking but yeah, guys, dude, 1917, brilliant fucking film. Go check it out, man. If you haven't seen it, man, if you like war movies, this is a fucking like this is like a
Cream of the
diamond.
crop. I mean, it's
Yeah,
basically in the top. I mean, it's got to be top 5. There's not many
gotta
other
be.
ones that are better than this. I mean,
Bro, I would
really,
say
you're
top
talking about Saving Private Ryan. You're talking about, depending on your taste, Apocalypse Now or
Black Hawk
whatever.
Down,
You
maybe.
know what I
Like
mean? Like I mean, that's a really good one.
I put it up top 3. For me, it's Saving Private Ryan. I mean, you can't deny that cast. And then it's, 1917. Then I'd go with Black Hawk Down. But, subscribe if you want to have an opinion, guys. We're not going to care unless you are subscribed. So
I'm
just
just
going to throw
looking
that out
through
there.
my notes and making sure there's nothing that like I was like, oh
Yeah, let
crap,
me
we
let me
gotta say
check
that.
this out. I already talked about how he didn't want a super famous face.
Well, I think this is interesting. I don't know if you've seen this movie, but there's a movie from 1957, an early Stanley Kubrick movie called Paths of Glory. And
Is that with Mel Gibson?
no, 1957. Mel
Oh
Gibson.
shit. I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, no, it's oh crap, I didn't write the main actor's name down. I can picture his face and his chin, but I can't think of it right this second. But anyway, Sam Mendes saw this when he was like 10 years old, right? He
Oh,
saw
okay.
Stanley Kubrick's Paths of Glory, so he must have loved it. And like, that movie is renowned for like having really long shots, and it's about World War One. And so when he was going to make this, he went back and rewatched it, and he realized the long interrupted tracking shots in that movie weren't as lengthy as most people say. Like, he's like, it had sort of been inflated over time, and he is like, he didn't want to be copying him too much. Like, hey, I'm
Right.
making I'm assuming that's his motivation. I don't know if that was his motivation, but it sounds like that's part of it. He's like, I'm not trying to copy him because it's a totally different movie.
That's
But
what art is, man. I mean, people are gonna use other people's shit for inspiration. I mean, it's just how this
yeah.
shit works, man.
Well, and Kubrick's one of the greats, and I just think anytime there's a connection, to Kubrick, we gotta mention the guy, right?
Right. Right, right. I mean, so I just want to just shout out real quick to Thomas Newman. Shout out Thomas Newman. His score was phenomenal. It really sells the urgency of the characters in this film. And, you know, if you talk about the trench run, you talk about the wood scene where the soldiers singing with the slight little incognito nod to Cold Mountain, like that's great composership. Like that's what makes fucking movies great, man. And he was just like a solid piece to this. I just wanted to shout him out real quick.
That's awesome. That's
But
awesome.
if you ain't got anything else to fucking say, we're all getting aboard that motherfucking hype train. Bam, 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 bam. Fuck
Hype.
yeah, baby. It's the motherfucking episode 15 hype train. And yeah, I am still having a tough time figuring out which one I want to do. I don't know if I want to do the Nicolas
It's
Cage
a
one that I
toss-up
keep bringing
again.
up and not talking about, or if I want to do Timothy Chalamet's new new movie coming out this Christmas. So again, I'm going to leave it to my cousin. You want Nicolas Cage or you want Timothy Chalamet?
I think we got to go Nick Cage just to connect to Mandy even more. We gotta connect.
And that's great. I'm glad you decided to pick that because this is kind of fucking crazy, dude. So when I was growing up, the first, like, my first ever video game I ever played was on Super Nintendo in 1995, and it was Madden 95. Love the game. You know, I'm 5 years old at this point, so I don't even know what football is, how, whatever, but I love the game. I've been playing it religiously every single year it comes out. I'm playing it right now. I got my own franchise. I love trading and building teams and all that. And when I saw this, I was really perplexed and intrigued. And it just speaks to how fucking phenomenal Nicolas Cage really is, dude. Because he is going to be playing in the new movie called Madden. And it's about the legacy and life story of John Madden as a Super Bowl winning coach with I think it was the Oakland Raiders at the time, to him and his involvement in creating such a phenomenal and successful franchise of video game. I mean, for those that don't know, Madden is probably one of the biggest selling games on any console. And it's phenomenal what it is now compared to what it was when I was playing it on Super Nintendo. It's real football. Like, it really is. It's the routes that everyone's running are real, and that was a huge part due to John Madden's involvement with it. He wanted to make sure that it was really realistic. And there's a whole documentary about it on Amazon for those that are kind of interested in what I'm talking about. Go check that out. I'll put the link in the description. But this is another crazy. Nicolas Cage is going to be starring as John Madden, which he had to put on some fucking weight. I mean, there's a picture.
Well, I'm sure it's heavy makeup on. I'm sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, dude, no, he gained a lot of weight for this. Like, there's a before and after picture of it. I'm going to put it up here for the guys.
Yeah.
And ladies watching on YouTube. But the owner of the Raiders is going to be played by Christian Bale.
Okay.
Which, I mean, solid name in Hollywood, big fucking name. Christian Bale and Nicolas Cage. Like, come on, it don't get better than that. I'm super hyped for this movie.
Yeah.
It's in post-production right now. They don't have a fucking release date for it. There is no trailer. I'm guessing it's going to come out sometime.
I would imagine 2026 at some point.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be 2026. But there's only one synopsis. It's after being forced into retirement by the Oakland Raiders, fiery former NFL head coach John Madden teams up with a mild-mannered Harvard programmer to rewrite his fading legacy by building the world's first football video game. And that's what the movie's going to be about. And
okay.
I just thought, what a cool premise. Like, you're not going to show John Madden's, I'm sure they'll have parts of the movie where he was coaching, but the whole thing is about him creating this game. Yeah. And
that's cool.
I'm really into video games. I'm really into Nicolas Cage, and I fucking love Christian Bale and just about everything he's done. So, I mean, I was even one of the guys that love The Furnace. A lot of folks didn't really love that movie too much, but dude, bunch of great actors and actresses in this film. Catherine Hahn's going to play Virginia in this film, which I think that's John Madden's wife. You got Christian Bale as Al Davis, already said. Buck Watkins is going to play Fred Billinoff. I think that's going to be the Harvard graduate. But yeah, I mean, bunch of notable names. Don't got a date yet, but keep your eyes peeled for Madden, baby. And the director is David O. Russell.
Oh, no way, dude.
David O. motherfucking Russell.
Okay, dude. Honestly,
now that changes things.
I really didn't know whether I cared too much about this
now
movie.
You care, huh?
But now I actually
You're
care.
a little hype. A little fucking
I'm hyped now. Dude,
yeah,
I've seen almost every movie that guy's done. I'm pretty sure I have. Dude, they're all amazing.
American Hustle.
Even like Joy, a lot of people didn't love Joy.
Three Kings.
Dude, Three Kings is like classic, right? I mean, that's classic.
lot of people don't know about that movie.
Dude, that's amazing, dude. Spike
great
Jones.
movie.
It's a
Yeah.
crazy
Fucking
movie.
great movie, dude.
It's really
Silver
good.
Linings Playbook. I mean, that's one of my
Yes.
favorite movies of all time. I mean,
I Heart Huckabees. That's a strange
yeah. Oh,
movie.
yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
Joy
mean,
was
he's
good. I like Joy. If you don't like
Yeah.
Joy, fuck off. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Like that dude's got some movies though, basically.
He's a good
Yes.
director, man.
All right. Shit, you got me at the end. I did not expect. I thought it was gonna be somebody I'd never heard of, and then I was like,
Nah,
oh,
bro.
David O.
It's
Russell.
Nicolas
That's
Cage
crazy.
and Christian Bale. You think they're gonna do a movie together with somebody that don't know what the fuck they're doing, dude? Nah.
So, just a little update. I got to see two of my previous hype train picks this week. I went to the theater and saw Predator Badlands.
Was
It
it
was really
was it
good.
phenomenally
Really
good
enjoyed
or
it.
just good?
To me, I would say I've got to rewatch it. I liked it. I really liked it, but I know some people are like, it's the best Predator ever. I don't think it's the best Predator ever.
One
But I
is
really
really hard
liked
to beat, dude.
Yeah,
Come
I
on.
mean, it was really good. It's the number one movie in the world right now, which I couldn't believe. I was like,
Oh, wow.
So it's doing really well. People are going out to see it. The other was Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein that dropped on Netflix, and I was like, oh, holy crap. So I was like, I get to see two of my hype train picks this weekend.
Was that
So
one
watch
good?
that. Yes, I like it's really good. Like I was talking to my wife. I don't know what my favorite Guillermo del Toro movie is. It sort of
Oh,
wanes, and I sort of try to think of which one it is. I know
Pan's
it's probably
Labyrinth.
Nightmare for Alley for you, right? You said,
You know
but
what? I was gonna say Pan's Labyrinth, but with Bradley Cooper and that would go with Nightmare's Alley for
yeah.
sure. That's probably
But
my
I mean,
favorite
about
one.
a third to a halfway through, I was like, this has got to be my favorite. But then by the end, I was like, I don't know if it is or not. But it was really good. I was really surprised. Like, dude, the detail this guy has in his movies
Yeah.
is just insane. It's on another level.
Since we're on favorites, I do want to shout out his version of Pinocchio. That's also on Netflix. Me and my
Yes,
son
dude.
watched that. My son loved that movie. He asked to see it over and over. It was one of the movies he'd make us watch in the mornings before school when he was with me. So
It's
I
a
loved it
trippy
too.
one. It's really awesome, man.
It's
It's
pretty
really
cool. It's a
cool.
cool take on Pinocchio, man. It really is.
Yeah.
I was stunned by I mean, it just goes to show you how insanely talented this man is, and he could go from a children's book to like an animated movie to Frankenstein to a big production movie like Nightmare Alley. I mean, the dude's all over the place.
So I've got an unconventional hype train pick this week,
I
but
like it.
I had to go here because I saw the trailer and I was like, holy crap. I'm so excited for this. Okay. Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair. Have you seen this trailer?
No.
What it is, okay. Everybody knows Kill Bill, Volume 1 and 2. Great movies. Quentin Tarantino. Awesome. Well, if you know about Quentin Tarantino and you know some of the lore behind his movies and stuff, he originally wanted to do it as one movie, but it was just going to be way too long. And the studio was like, nah, you got to make that two movies, right? So he
Yeah.
did. So now he's taking it back to theaters as one movie, right? And he's putting back in extra footage that wasn't in there, some scenes that weren't in either one. There's at least from the trailer, you can tell at least one animated sequence that's going to be in it that wasn't in the original. I originally had it clocked in at 4 hours and 7 minutes, but apparently IMDb originally got it wrong. That would have been if you just put the two movies together. The runtime on this thing in theaters is going to be 4 hours and 41 minutes long. Like I said,
And
it's
it's
going to be,
coming out in theaters?
uncut, uncensored, coming out in a few weeks, December 5th. It's a fucking Quentin Tarantino, and it's got scenes we haven't seen from Kill Bill in it. I'm
I
gonna
don't
be
know if I
there. I've
want to be
gotta
in a
see
movie
that.
theater for 4 hours,
Dude,
dude.
all I will say is we went to the roadshow version of The Hateful Eight, which is a super long movie, and in
I
the
did too.
middle of that, they did an intermission, where they played
Yeah,
music and paused the movie for 10 minutes. I'm hoping they'll do that again. I don't know, because this isn't gonna be like a
they have
roadshow
to.
version, but
They got to.
I don't know. But either
You can't
way,
make someone sit down for 4 hours. Like,
yeah.
I think I'll be
But
waiting on that one to come out, but I don't
after we
know because
finish recording, go check out the trailer, man. Throw the link in the description. And if you haven't heard about this, people, this is why you should subscribe to the show. Subscribe. Come on, Flicking Off.
subscribe.
We're gonna drop the knowledge for you and tell you what you need to go see. But I
Yeah,
mean,
dude.
hopefully people have heard about this if they're fans of Quentin
I had
Tarantino.
no fucking idea. I'm blown away right now. I mean,
Dude, I had
I thought
heard
you were gonna
about
say
this.
Kill Bill 3, which I'm like, wait,
Dude,
it's
that would have
over.
been that would have been insane. That would have
Yeah.
been insane. But I had heard about a fan version, right? And it was actually called the same thing, The Whole Bloody Affair. But then Quentin Tarantino decided, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna use that same title because he thought it was really cool. So I think that's really cool. And so I had heard about it months ago, that it was premiering at a couple places, but I had no idea it was something they were actually gonna put out to theaters for the public to see. I thought
I
maybe
don't
they'll
know
release it. And so
how
then when I was
received do you
just
think
searching
that'll
for new
be?
trailers, I saw it and I was like, "What the hell?" And the trailer dropped a couple weeks ago, so I'm slipping by a couple weeks myself. I hadn't heard about it, but
How received do you think that'll be? I wonder how many folks are gonna be like signing up for a 4-hour movie.
dude, I think there'll be a ton of people there, but they're all gonna be fans of it. You're not making new fans of Kill Bill by
Right.
releasing this 4-hour movie. This is all gonna be people who are fans of it, but that movie's got enough fans. All you need is a portion of them to show up and.
I mean,
And the way
this is a
things run nowadays, it's crazy, dude. This is a total aside. I'm just gonna go on a total aside. I was watching some special features for, an older movie the other day that, and they were taught a 90s movie, and they were like, now you get a new movie, unless it's like a blockbuster, and I mean a
yeah,
big, big movie. It's only in the theater 1, 2 weeks, probably 2
yeah.
weeks. That's it. You got 2 weeks. Yeah, I mean, I don't know when all of this, changed gradually over time, but just for, our younger listeners out there, when we were young, sometimes movies would be at the theater for
A
3
month
or
and a
4
half.
months.
Yeah,
And when a
like
movie like Predator dropped, that night that the movie dropped, they'd have Predator playing in 4 theaters in the same building, and they'd have a showtime every half hour so that you could go basically whenever and see this movie. It was insane back in the day.
dude, since this is turning into the history train, I mean, like, I remember going to the theater and it being more packed than shopping malls, man. Like, I
Yeah,
remember, like, when we were going to see Lord of the Rings during the releases on the holidays, I mean, like you said, 4 theaters, all the 4 main theaters are showing this film at different times, same times. Got dude, just the whole theater is packed with people. It's like you
yeah.
gotta like maneuver your
No
way.
assigned seating. No
None.
assigned seating. So it was first come, first serve.
Right. We're like our bellies are touching each other's backs, dude. Get like waiting to get popcorn and shit. There won't no 6 foot of distance where like I mean, it's crazy to see now for me. I mean, we're watching the world turn. I mean, who knows how long theaters will even be a thing? I don't know how long they can keep this up, man, if people don't get in the seats. I mean, which is what's blowing my mind about this 4-hour movie is like,
Yeah,
what do they think is going to happen? Like, I mean,
yeah.
just like you said, I guess for someone that hasn't seen Kill Bill or Kill Bill 2, you would go and see the film just because all the hype that you've heard throughout the years around it. But if you didn't go see 1 or 2, what would make a fan or anybody go, well, hey, let me go see them because they're mashed together? I'll be in the theater for a fourth of the day. Like, nah, I don't know. I don't know. I'd
Yeah.
be,
I mean, I don't think it's gonna be a big money maker for anybody, like, theatrically, but
yeah. Well, it's got
I
to, all it is money because, I mean, look, they're
but
not
dude,
spending any money. And
this is Quentin Tarantino, right? Even if the theatrical part breaks even, right? The money is all gonna be made in the licensing because after this release, it's gonna go to streaming somewhere,
well, I
and
think
they're
it's going to,
looking to make money there, and I'm sure they're gonna release, like, Ks,
it's gotta
editions
make
of
money in the
this, and
box office. They're not spending any money on production. It's all marketing. So it's like you already have the 2 movies with extra footage. I think like what they spent money on editing and then that's it. Like you're
yeah,
editing the shit together. Like, I mean, and then you just release it in theaters. It's already shot. It's already filmed. You've already paid the actors. Like, I mean, it's all profit as far as I'm concerned. So it makes sense. I
yeah.
just, it's a money grab. Like Quentin, we want a new movie, dude. Like, I mean, well,
Well,
like,
he's gonna do one. He's gonna do
nah,
one.
no.
At least one, he says. So let's
I mean, look, I might go see it to be honest with you. I mean, shit, if it's
yeah.
coming out anytime soon, I'll go see it for sure. You know what? I think I'm gonna go see Predator tonight. You got me kind of hype about that, but that's our fucking show, guys. Episode 15, Flicking Off. Again, I'm Mark. That's my cousin Jacob. Every single week, Monday, 12 a.m., we are linking the film we just talked about to another film, some way, shape, or form, director, actor, production company, however the fuck we see fit. And it's your job to figure out what, how. All you got to do, be subscribed to the show, like the video, and comment
Do it.
your guess, and we will send you $100 straight to your bank account, however the fuck you want. PayPal,
You heard
MoneyGram,
him.
Cash App, the 9, whatever, however you want us to send it, we'll figure it out and we'll do that. And we're excited to see if anybody is going to follow and figure out just how we've been flicking off. That's all the time we got for now. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. And we love you.